Bankruptcies. Bankruptcies are one of the most painful and powerful negative items to hit your credit report. They can stop you from attaining various credit cards, even if you have a high credit score, prevent you from getting mortgages. So let's talk about removing bankruptcies. Bankruptcies are a public record that are reported to the secondary credit bureaus. Secondary credit bureaus like LexisNexis, SageStream, Microbilt, ARS will take this information and supply it to the big three, Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. When they supply this information, it'll be on a separate section on your credit report stating it is a public record. So how do you address a bankruptcy? Chapter 13 and Chapter 7 bankruptcies have a different impact. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years. Chapter 7, 10 years. Chapter 7 will impact mortgages for up to 3 years after it's discharged or dismissed. Chapter 13 after a year. So the best and first step you should take is to actually contact the bankruptcy court in which you filed. When you contact them, and I recommend going down there, but if you cannot go to the bankruptcy court, call them. Ask them who gave permission to report my bankruptcy filing to the credit bureaus. Typically what you will find is, hey, we didn't provide that information. The courts do not provide the information to the secondary credit bureau or to the primaries. That information is gathered by a second unknown source. Well, it's not unknown. It's a court reporting source in which LexisNexis and the secondary credit bureau subscribe. So that's how they retrieve all the public information to give a better overall picture of the consumer. That being said, it is not authorized by the court to give it to the credit bureaus. The credit bureaus purchase it. So the court is not sending your information to anyone. This information is purchased, which is a benefit to you. Because when you go down to the court will say, hey, we didn't supply that information. We never told Experian. We never even told LexisNexis. What you need is when you contact the court to ask for a letter requesting, did you provide permission to have this item reported on my credit report? Once they say no, you can use that to have your bankruptcy removed. That is the best way to have the bankruptcy removed, is to get a letter from the court stating they never provided this information to be reported or authorized by the credit bureaus. Once you get that letter, you would send it to the secondary credit bureaus and to your primary credit bureaus. And now the bankruptcy is removed. Okay, what if that doesn't work, Raul? Here's the next step. If that doesn't work, or the court won't cooperate with you, what you need to do is place a security freeze on all your secondary credit bureau reports. That would be LexisNexis, Clarity, SageStream, ARS, Microbilt. Once you have your security freeze in place, you're going to then make sure all inaccurate or old personal information like address, phone number, date of birth, anything that is inaccurate that identifies you personally, your name misspelled or name not even reported like your middle name, you're going to make sure all of that is correct. You're going to mail that dispute. Once all your personal information is correct, make sure you dispute all old addresses, all old phone numbers. You want all old information removed, all old employers removed. Once you have that removed, you're going to dispute the bankruptcy itself, the case number, and the bankruptcy filing. You're going to dispute it directly with the 3 credit bureaus. This dispute doesn't have to be a USC coded letter or something generated by ChatGPT. You just need to dispute, hey, I didn't file a bankruptcy, it's not mine, provide the information. Where did I tell you your bankruptcies are being reported from? Your secondary credit bureaus. So as long as you have a freeze placed on your secondary bureaus, it makes it harder for the credit bureaus to verify because they do not contact the court. So once you send that dispute, and if the credit bureaus typically will respond, say, hey, we verified that this is yours. Your next dispute letter would state, how was this verified? You already know the court doesn't communicate and provide that information directly to credit bureaus or the secondary credit bureaus. You have a security freeze on your secondary credit bureaus, so now there should be no communication between them. When the credit bureaus respond, if they don't remove it, you have enough information now to escalate it directly to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau with this information. You're going to make a copy of both of the letters you sent requesting an investigation and both of the letters in response from the credit bureau stating, hey, we verified this account. You're going to state that, hey, they did not investigate, they violated my consumer rights. I'm going to use USC code 15 USC 1681, which is basically stating provide method of verification, and you're putting the onus on the credit bureaus. You can make a strongly worded dispute using all the USC codes and submit it through the CFPB instead of sending that directly to the credit bureaus. A USC coded CFPB complaint is far more effective than sending a USC coded letter directly to the credit bureaus, especially to their PO box. Any dispute sent to their PO box is going to be scanned and turned into 2 digits by eOscar. But when you submit it to the CFPB, that is actually where it's supposed to go, and they will apply those codes directly to your complaint. Have any questions? Feel free to reach out. Click the link in my bio. The Ultra Edition is available on my website and at the link. Thank you.